Hello and welcome to another episode of The Forgotten Golfer. You know, if I had a nickel for every time someone told me I'm not hitting that club today because I just can't hit it, so I'm gotta hit this one. Last week I was playing with a guy who couldn't hit his driver, so he was hitting 5 wood off the tee. I'm like, what happens when you hit your driver? Well, I hit it way off to the right. And I said, it's the same manufacturer, same shaft, same company. Yep, and you just can't hit it, but you can hit your 5 wood. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's my thinking that if he can hit his 5 wood, he should definitely be able to hit his driver. The problem is up here, or he's changing his swing when he uses the driver. Took me 10 minutes, and I had him on a road to recovery. Let's tackle that today. Do you have a club in your bag? Could be a wedge, could be an 8 iron, 6 iron, that you don't hit because you can't? I can't hit that one. And it's the same manufacturer, the same shaft. Come on back, and I'll tell you why that is. All right? See you in a minute. Well, you have to understand that the swing is basically the same for every club. I mean, it is. You're not changing your swing for a driver versus a 5 wood. A lot of people talk about iron swings versus wood swings. You're not really changing your swing, whether it's an iron or wood. You're just addressing it differently. Different lengths of club calling for different positions in your stance. Let me tell you one thing right now. Ben Hogan, you know, when he was like this, people say, well, he's playing it off his back foot. Eh? No, Ben Hogan played the ball in one position. All he did is move the right foot, depending on the club, and he stood back further from the ball. So his driver stance was like this. His 9 iron stance, or little wedge shot, was in here. He doesn't move this foot, this ball position. And it's the same swing, and you're contacting it in the same place. Now, shorter club, you got to stand closer to the ball. I mean, me, myself, when I go sour with my wedge, it's because I'm hitting drives like this, and I get over with my wedge, and I'm trying to hit my wedge that far away from the... No, you got to stand closer to the ball with your wedge. It's a different length of club. So those are the adjustments you make from the length of club. But your stance in relationship to the ball really doesn't change all that much. And that's what you got to understand. Now, this particular guy, he was taking his 5 wood and he was standing something like this with the ball, right? But when he got to his driver, he was standing like something like this, outside the left foot. So he was totally changing his swing. That was his driver's swing, thinking that that would help him out. And it isn't. It was killing him. He's hitting it dead right. Because he's probably lunging because the ball is, you know, so far ahead of his left foot. Couldn't compensate. So I moved it back. I said, just stand normal. Put your hands, you want to launch the driver, put your hands in back of the ball. Don't have them in front of the ball if you want to launch it. He hits it a mile. And just those changes fixed his driver to the point where he was hitting him down the middle of the fairway and he had confidence again. And when I was a kid, I never hit driver because I was afraid of it. Of course, I didn't have choice of shaft, choice of manufacturer. My father gave me a set of clubs and said, here, play with these. So I didn't have a choice. But the reason I wasn't hitting my driver, because when I got a driver, instead of just taking it, 3/4 like you see in the beginning video, I would give it a little extra because it was a driver. I was changing my swing because I thought I had to, because I had different clubs. No, this driver swing is going to be the same thing as my 8-iron swing, as my wedge. Just the stance is going to change just a little. And that's what you have to worry about. When you get up to the ball, make checkpoints, make swing keys, keep the ball, find your spot. I can't tell you where your spot is. My body's different than yours. Find your spot in relationship to the ball. Me personally, I keep my right thumb, the ball with my right thumb. Unless I'm trying to launch it, then I put the driver a little bit back of the ball, I launch it. But it's right off the inside of my left foot, right? I keep my knees straight. I try to keep a good posture, although it's tough with my back. And that's it. My head's up. That's it. You see that? Now, I have an 8-iron. What's different? Nothing. Just my feet are closer together. I'm still playing it off the inside. My right thumb is still at the ball. I'm standing much closer to the iron because it's shorter club, and I still hit it the same way. Okay? Nothing different. Just an 8-iron. Same swing. That's it. Don't change your setup. Don't change your setup much at all. Let me hit another one. 8-iron swing. Right? Inside. Stance is a little narrow, more narrow. Right thumb at the ball. Standing closer, comfortably. Arms are comfortable. That's my 8-iron. Right? Now I have my driver. Right? What's the difference? Still putting the thumb at the ball, but I want to get it up in the air a little bit, launch it, so I move my grip just a hair back. But look, inside the left foot, my stance is a little more wide because it's going to be a stronger swing. Basically, same exact swing. So you have to check on that club if it's the same manufacturer, the same shaft, because the shaft could be screwing you up. Maybe he needs a different kind of shaft in that driver. Strong kid. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why it's going to the right on him. In most cases, if you have the wrong shaft, meaning if you have a weak shaft in your driver, you will actually feel the head wobble if you hit it off the sweet spot. That means your shaft is a little maybe too weak for you. And likewise, if your shaft is too strong for you, you're having a tough time getting back to the ball. You're probably going to snap hook it, hit it offline. So the shafts are important. But if this is a club from your set and the specs are basically the same, make sure with the driver you're not trying to swing too high. And if you don't know for sure, Either get someone to film your driver swing versus your 8-iron swing or your favorite club swing, see what the difference is, or just yourself try to take a little off the swing with your driver and see if that makes a difference. Right? See if it makes a difference. There's no reason in the world that if you're playing with clubs from the same set, that you can't hit them all the same, except one exception. And that's when I was growing up. Some people carried a 1-iron. I couldn't hit a 1-iron. But if the clubs are the same, it shouldn't be a problem. You're the problem. You're changing something. You're changing your stance, you know. And of course, run down a checklist. Run down a checklist of your address position. It's very important. Meaning, getting back of the ball, aim where you want it to go, get to the front, keep your routine the same, right? Keep everything the same. Still got it in the same position according to your left foot, but I'm going to launch it, so I'm going to put it back a little bit. I'm going to launch it. And that's it. But everything should be the same. Nothing changes. Don't get sucked in by there's a different swing for each club. Unless you're hitting a specialty shot where you want to hit a lower driver or a lower iron or a higher iron. Or like I just did. That was a specialty shot because I launched it. You know, that's different. Things are going to change a little bit. But otherwise, everything is the same. If you find out with that club that you're having trouble with, chances are you're swinging differently with that club than the rest of your clubs. Trust me on this.